everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Jaime Leigh and I'm a mixed media artist. Here on YouTube I do videos on painting techniques for mixed media. I do time-lapse art videos, and I do a series of weird art videos where I talk about the weird side of art. And if any of that sounds interesting to you, please click the subscribe button and turn on the bell for notifications so that you can be notified when I post a new video. Today's video is a new idea. This is an art vlog. I got this new camera I'm holding here for Christmas. It's a Canon M50 Mark III, I think is what it's called. Anyway, it's a vlogging camera. I got it so that I can film me doing my artwork, but also I've been kind of trying some other things with it. Okay, so one of the things I was filming was part of our house renovation. So I live in a pretty old house. I mentioned it several videos ago that we were in the middle of renovating. We're still in the middle of renovating. We're making progress. Our house is from like the 1930s or 1940s, and so we're just taking our time and trying to make it look really good. We have this room, it's the one I'm in right now. We call it the game room, and basically it's just where we have the TV. The kids hang out, they play on the Xbox, they play on the VR. My daughter has a closet where her computer's at. So basically it's just all the electronic stuff that our family does is kind of in this one room. There's kind of a weird spot in the room where down on the lower part of one of the walls there's like a wooden frame. At some point it might have been like a heater or some sort of fireplace or something, but now it's just like a little wooden frame on the wall. And so my fiance said to me, hey, you should paint something in that little spot since we're gonna be keeping the frame on there. And I was like, that's a good idea, but the heck am I gonna paint on the wall of our house? Like, what would I put there, you know? And I was looking at the spot one day, and you know how sometimes like when you're thinking of something you can't think of like what you're gonna do, but then all of a sudden it like hits you out of nowhere? Well, it hit me out of nowhere, and I was like, I'm gonna paint Diesel. Diesel was, I'm not gonna cry. Diesel was our boxer. We had her for 9 years. She died in August of 2021. She was, we think, probably around 11 years old because we got her, they told us she was 2 when we got her. So we lost her in August, and it was really hard. Like, we got her a month and a half basically after Luke and I got together. So the whole time that we had been together, had our, you know, family growing up and everything, she was there the whole time through everything, and not having her here is rough. So, I thought I should paint her on the wall. That would be perfect. She's still a part of our family, and now she still gets to be part of the house in the room where everybody always hangs out anyway, so it felt kind of perfect. So there's a little segment here where I basically go through how I went about doing that painting, the little tiny mural. have a little story to tell about Diesel. She was technically my dog. She was our protector and our watchdog. She was pretty fierce. I really trusted her to kind of take care of our family after I had a really bad nightmare one night and I woke up with sleep paralysis. And I don't know if you've ever had that, but it's kind of terrifying. In my nightmare, I was in my house. There were people breaking into the house. It felt scary in the dream, and obviously it felt scary waking up from the dream thinking, I was in my house, I was in my bed, and was that dream real? Had somebody really broken into the house? And I was so scared, and I was kind of staring at the door to the bedroom. When you have sleep paralysis, you can't move, and your brain is kind of not really catching up yet to the fact that you're awake and everything's okay. Like, shadows look scary, like kind of still in dreamland. And so I was still convinced that maybe there could be somebody in the house that had broken in, until all of a sudden my brain was like, hey, you have Diesel. She's out in the living room. And if somebody broke into this house or even tried to, she would be all over them. And as soon as my brain thought that thought, I just felt better. I relaxed, I could move again, and I basically was able to go back to sleep after that, feeling pretty confident that if anybody did try to break into this house and Diesel was in it, then they were going to be one sorry person and wish they'd never broke in. So she was just that kind of dog. So you may be wondering what this giant box in my front yard is, and it's pretty cool. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm so extra. In our dining room, a while ago, we had like one of those regular fireplace with the mantle type things. Like you can get them at Lowe's, you can get them at Home Depot. They're just like a regular wooden looking fireplace. Ours was gas because we have a gas hookup right in the spot where that fireplace was. So when we were doing the renovations, I was like, you know, we need to get a new fireplace. The one that we had there, the heating, basically the gas heating element went out, the sensor wasn't working, so the pilot would keep going out and it just wasn't really fixable. So we got rid of that one, and I was kind of looking around for a new fireplace and I couldn't find anything I liked. And I wanted, because it goes with everything we're doing in the house, wanted a black fireplace. That's what I wanted. Like, I was set, my mind was set. I'm like, I'm getting a black fireplace, right? So every fireplace I look at, you can get this basic brown fireplace, all shades of brown that you want. Doesn't matter. All gas fireplaces. Black fireplaces, every single one of them was electric. We don't want an electric fireplace. We don't, that's not what we're, you know, set up for. So I was like, what do I do? Do I just, at one point I was like, all right, fine, I'll just get the stupid brown one. And then I was like, no, we're spending all this time and money on renovating our house. I want a black fireplace. So then I started looking, like searching on the internet for like, maybe I'm not looking in the right place. I looked on like every fireplace website you could think of and I couldn't find anything. So then I'm like, me being extra, I'm like, all right, what about Gothic fireplace? So I started looking that up. Okay, those were way too expensive. And then for some reason, like, because when we looked up stuff for this house, because it's older, we were like, okay, Gothic or Victorian. A lot of this stuff is like, that works is kind of in that era. So I was like, Victorian fireplace? Y'all, like I said, I'm totally extra. So the giant box sitting in the front yard is not Dracula. Although kind of felt like it was. It was literally shipped to me from England through a place that sells Victorian fireplaces. It is, I can't even say it without laughing because people are gonna be like, are you freaking kidding me? It weighs 500 pounds, the shipping and the box and everything. They had to build the box for the fireplace. It's cast iron. Like, it is the coolest thing I'd ever seen. As soon as I saw it, I was like, that's it. That's what I'm getting. Doesn't matter. Somehow I will figure it out. So we literally did. We ordered the fireplace. They built the shipping box. They shipped it overseas. It had to go through customs. Let me tell you, I don't know anything about anything going through customs. So that was a whole ordeal that took like an extra month. And then the funny part of the fireplace arriving, like, you know, it comes in a giant shipping box that weighs 500 pounds. So it's shipped by semi-truck, a tractor trailer. So the guy who's delivering it calls me and, you know, sets up the delivery or whatever. And then he said he would call me when he got close to my house. He's delivered in this area before, a couple times a while back. So he was kind of familiar. So I tried to explain to him where I live, and he's like, yeah, I've been that way before, but I'll call you so that you can kind of get me right there. And so he calls me, because I told him, I was like, you know, he's like, I have a semi-truck. Do you think I can make it to your house? And I was like, they don't allow semi-trucks on the street. I'm a residential street. It literally says no trucks. And he's like, all right. He's like, I think I can work something out. So he calls me when he's on like 2 streets over in the main street, and he's like, well, I'm driving down Main Street. I'm just gonna turn right here at the police station. Hopefully they don't pull me over before I get to your house. Go outside, and I'm standing on my porch, and I see this, you know, huge semi truck coming down this little residential street, and I wave, and he's like, oh, I see you. And so he pulls off out onto the street, and then he kind of backs up to my house, and I'll insert some pictures. Friendly guy. He stayed on the phone with me the whole time until he hopped down basically out of the truck and went to the back, and he had to do the lift and put the thing down. And he's like, well, where do I need to get this to? Can you get it up on the porch? No, I only have this little, you know, kind of jack thing that'll move it around. And I'm like, well, just get it as far into the yard as you can, I guess. And so that's what he did. He got it as far into the yard as he could, and then he left. And that's how our British fireplace arrived at our house. Here's the fireplace where it will be installed after the floor is put down. We cut a wooden top to go behind the mantle to cover in that corner area in the back part. Here is the wall color for this room, which is awesome. And then here is where we tore out some of the drywall and exposed the hidden wooden wall behind it. So that's the room where the fireplace is going to live. And there's our really cool chandelier fan. That's it for this vlog. I hope you enjoyed watching it, and please like this video and subscribe if you are interested in watching more. and I will see you next time. Bye!